And before anyone comments about me clicking my abilities, fuck off. This is how I play. I've been playing like this since 2005. I've never had an issue. People are like, oh, but you're slower. Well, guess what? With something as slow as this, look at this. There's nothing for me to click other than auto attack. Now, there is a way to fire, which is what I'm doing right here, where you have to run like this instead of backtracking, because that actually means I get less time because I'm walking slower. If I go like this and at least keep him on my side, then I can at least shoot at him instead of him being behind me where I cannot shoot him. Now there is an optimal way to do it with key bindings like this without having to use the mouse. There is an optimal way to click and key turn and all that. Just people don't know how to do it, so people think, oh, well, it's not the optimal way to do it, therefore you suck. Fuck you. I've been doing this for years. I've done hardcore rating. I have ahead of the achievement. I have ahead of the curve, rather, achievements. I have several of them. I defeated a lot of bosses, and I've done a lot of achievement runs before they were nerfed back in vanilla, or not vanilla WoW. There's no achievements back then. I meant just in WoW in general, like Defender of Shattered World from Cataclysm. I'm not paying attention right now, so I could have gotten a few more shots in, but I got that before Firelands came out. Garrosh, I remember. So oh, level 2 already. See, I'm not paying attention, I'm just kind of ranting, but level 2. See, I'm not paying attention. I'm just freaking ranting. Level 2. No, back in Miss Pandaria, I remember. So Garrosh, that fight, for some reason on the I was pugging. I wasn't really in a guild trying to kill him because I just wanted the wolf. It's like I don't really care about raiding at that point in time. I didn't care. I just wanted to get the wolf and be done. I still need one more meat. So I joined a pug group. I don't remember the name of the guild, but they let me join every week, and every raiding day. And for a few weeks, we could not clear. A few of them, we almost got to Garrosh, but we couldn't get there. Then finally, like 2 weeks in a row, we got to Garrosh, and we just could not beat him. And a lot of people's DPS was really low. Now, the next day, between the days, so this was the first raid day of the week. Between the days, the raid leader said, if you do not pull more than 200,000 DPS, we're going to remove you and replace you, because we try to do this for people who still need the mount, because almost everyone in this group already has it, but we cannot beat it, so we're going to have to do that. Well, I was a little bit low on DPS, but that's because I was not geared. I didn't raid during Miss Pandaria. That was like my expansion where I took a break. So I didn't raid during Miss Pandaria. I raided in Cataclysm. I raided in Wrath. I even hardcore raided in Warlords of Draenor afterward. But I took a break in Miss Pandaria. But I wanted the wolf mount. That's why I was doing it. So I was like, oh man, well, I'm just shy of 200,000. They're not going to let me get the wolf. So I asked a friend. I said, hey, I haven't been raiding. I'm not up to date. Can you help me real quick? He's like, oh yeah, sure. Here's some guides on, what was I playing? I think I was playing a arms warrior at the time. So he's like, yeah, here it is. Oh, you need these kind of gems and these kind of enchantments. That's all I had to do was a few enchantments, a few gems, and then he said, hey, instead of hitting this ability, hit this ability. Like, I didn't even have to change my rotation that much. I just changed it slightly. And you know what? Clicking my abilities, doing everything the same way I was doing. I just had enchantments and gems, and I switched out one ability in my rotation. I was doing 320,000 DPS. I was like the second or third on the DPS meter that night. So, yes, you can play clicking, keyboard turning. Anyone who says otherwise is full of shit. You just need to know how to play it right. I've been playing games that click for a long time. If you can play old school RuneScape, where the only thing you can do is click, move, and there are some bosses that actually have mechanics. If you play old school RuneScape and fight the few bosses that do have mechanics. Like one that's coming to mind is the Haunted Mine, where you have to move constantly. There's things being thrown at you. You have to switch back and forth. Now, there's obviously better examples. That's just the one that came to mind. But that's all clicking. So if you can click and not even keyboard, you can't use your keyboard at all. And you can go back and forth between the different panels, click between prayers, go back to your potions, go back to your spells, while moving your character, and win? That's a game based on clicking. But the people who play World of Warcraft, and I think some other MMOs, but I haven't heard it as much from other MMOs, because I really don't care to listen to other people about other MMOs, but they are dead set that if you don't set Q and E and R and F, and you don't need your turning buttons, so you can do A and D. All you need is W, and you don't need S, because why would you backtrack? Yeah, I can understand not backtracking, because in some cases that's not needed. In some cases it is. There are some times where I was tanking, and anyone who knows World of Warcraft knows you cannot show your back to an NPC because they will do more damage to you. There's actually a greater damage if you have your back turned, and not to mention being dazed. So, and also if I needed to be fast, let's say I'm on Hans and Franz in Warlords of Draenor, I have to get out of the way of the freaking stampers. You know what I do? Hold down my right click and move like this, or I just use E and Q to move like this. And then they can stay in my front, and I can still run at normal speed. But there are some bosses where you have to move slow. So in that case, backtracking a little, like I'm doing with this cougar, actually works. That's what you would use it for the ones that you have to move, but you have to move slow. I'm trying to think of an example. Probably, no, not Safety Dance. What am I thinking of? I know there are some bosses, some of them in vanilla World of Warcraft. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. But there were bosses where I had to run slow. And, move out of something, but you can't move out of it too fast, or you would die or some shit like that. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But there are instances where you would need to backtrack. Or backpedal, rather. I don't know the term for it. I don't really give a fuck. But, yeah. If my ranting while leveling is entertaining you, please subscribe.